Ultra-processed foods are a paradox of modern nutrition. They are energy-dense, yet nutrient-poor. These products, designed primarily for convenience, shelf life, and profitability, are often stripped of the natural components that make whole foods nourishing. In their place are synthetic additives, flavor enhancers, emulsifiers, and refined starches that offer little to no real nutritional value. Despite often contributing a significant portion of daily caloric intake, ultra-processed foods are severely lacking in essential vitamins, minerals, fiber, and beneficial plant compounds. Over time, this imbalance between high energy and low nutrient content leads to subtle but dangerous forms of malnutrition, weakening the body's systems and increasing vulnerability to both chronic and infectious diseases. The absence of dietary fiber is one of the most alarming deficiencies in ultra-processed foods. Fiber plays a vital role in digestion, helping to regulate bowel movements, control blood sugar levels, and support a healthy gut microbiome. A diet low in fiber has been associated with constipation, increased inflammation, and higher risk of colorectal cancer. Moreover, fiber slows the absorption of sugar and fat, promoting satiety and stabilizing post-meal blood glucose, a key defense against insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. Yet many ultra-processed products are made with refined grains and starches that have been stripped of their bran and germ, removing the fiber and much of the original nutritional content of the food. The resulting product may taste familiar and satisfying, but it contributes nothing to the essential processes that protect long-term health. Vitamin and mineral content is also critically low in most ultra-processed foods. Though some are fortified with select nutrients such as iron, folic acid, or vitamin D, this practice is inconsistent and often fails to match the nutrient profile of real, unprocessed foods. Whole vegetables, fruits, legumes, whole grains, and lean proteins contain a diverse and balanced spectrum of micronutrients, many of which work synergistically to support immune function, bone health, cellular repair, and neurological well-being. In contrast, ultra-processed foods often rely on synthetic versions of just a few nutrients, presented in isolation and absorbed less effectively. The result is a dietary pattern that may appear sufficient in calories but is functionally hollow, leading to hidden hunger, a term used to describe the chronic deficiencies that can exist even in individuals who are overweight or obese. These deficiencies do not merely reduce quality of life, they can cause lasting physical damage. Chronic low intake of key nutrients such as magnesium, potassium, vitamin C, vitamin K, and B-complex vitamins can lead to fatigue, muscle weakness, impaired immune response, poor wound healing, and cognitive decline. Children, pregnant women, and the elderly are especially at risk. In children, poor nutrient intake can impair physical growth, brain development, and school performance. In pregnancy, it can result in complications like anemia, preeclampsia, and developmental issues in the fetus. Among the elderly, it increases the risk of frailty, osteoporosis, and immune dysfunction, often contributing to hospitalizations that could have been prevented with better nutrition. An often overlooked danger of ultra-processed foods is that they displace healthier options in the diet. People who rely heavily on these products tend to consume fewer fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and legumes, all rich sources of nutrients essential to maintaining health. Over time, this dietary displacement leads to compounding deficiencies. The more ultra-processed foods consumed, the less room there is for nutrient-dense alternatives, creating a feedback loop that pushes people further into nutritional imbalance without necessarily alerting them to the damage occurring inside their bodies. Hunger may be satisfied, but the body remains starved of what it truly needs. The issue is further complicated by the fact that many ultra-processed foods are deceptively marketed as healthy or fortified. Claims such as low-fat, gluten-free, or source of fiber often adorn packages of nutritionally empty foods, misleading consumers into believing they are making sound choices. These marketing strategies obscure the fact that the core ingredients, refined starches, sugar, hydrogenated oils, and artificial flavorings, offer minimal benefit and may actively harm health when consumed regularly. This confusion not only misleads individuals, but erodes public understanding of what truly constitutes a nutritious diet. Poor nutrient quality doesn't result in immediate, dramatic illness, which is why its dangers are often underestimated. but its effects accumulate silently and relentlessly, increasing long-term risks for cardiovascular disease, osteoporosis, neurodegenerative disorders, autoimmune conditions, and mental health issues. The irony is stark. In many parts of the world, obesity and malnutrition coexist, not because people are eating too little, but because they are eating too poorly. Ultra-processed foods make this contradiction possible, flooding the body with empty calories while starving it of the building blocks it needs to thrive. In the end, the frequent consumption of ultra-processed foods is not simply a benign indulgence or a matter of convenience. It is a slow, pervasive form of self-sabotage. Nutritional deficiencies caused by these foods may not be as immediately visible as infections or injuries, but their cumulative toll on the body is just as real, and in many cases, far more difficult to reverse. Until we collectively prioritize nutrient density over calorie count and whole foods over convenience, the silent epidemic of diet-related deficiencies will continue to undermine health across all age groups, fueling a cascade of preventable diseases rooted in a lack of the very substances our bodies were designed to depend on.